all that is covered.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now. I don't hear anything. Nope. Hello? But I don't hear anything. Means my headset is not turned on. I mean, you like telling me these things like I should know, but I was prepared, but I didn't hear anything. So welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BigExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Nate. I have a special guest joining me today. One of my friends, Mr. Anthony Shaw. He'll be here soon. He's like a mini Monny almost. I know. Like, they the same person, technically. But today we're going to do a lot of hot topics. And that'll be coming up shortly. But just a couple announcements. Don't forget the 17th of September, Be Exposed will be doing another open house. Monthly, we do these open houses to open our doors and welcome in the public, basically. This month, we'll be focusing on the media industry. So if you are a blogger, a radio show station, a personality, you have your own show, you're a blogger, you're a vlogger, you are Instagram hottie, like whatever you do media-wise, writer, journalist, you write for newspapers, magazines, you're a photojournalist, whatever you do, come on down to Be Exposed Radio. And it's open to the public in general, but that's the focus. So it'll be a lot of people from radio stations and shows and blogs and such like that here. So come on, network with them. If you are an artist or a business, this will be a perfect time for you to come down because you'll get to meet a lot of personalities, radio personalities, so you can do interviews on their show. And it's always a great press to be able to do a press junket, and you can build up your list, your tour on September the 17th. So come on down, 110 East Lexington Street, Suite 200. Come on down, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're broadcasting live, so you get to come in here and promote your business, your service, yourself even, or anything that you have coming up or people you know have coming up. Invite them down, come on down and broadcast live with us and network out in our lobby and have some whores divorce and such. So that's September 17th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, September the 17th, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 110 East Lexington Street at the Be Exposed Radio Studio for our monthly open house. Be there or be square. Also, October the 15th at Morgan State University, the African American Authors Expo will be going on, and we'll be live broadcasting from there. We've interviewed quite a few of their authors in the last couple months. So come out and meet some awesome, eclectic, a very cross section of types and genres of writers at this expo. It'll be hosted by Morgan State University in I believe their student center. That's October the 15th. I'll have the exact time and exact location by Monday. So so definitely look out for that. Also, he's coming down. Also look out for this month. We'll be doing some special giveaways in celebration of the Artist Exchange's 2-year anniversary here on BigExposedRadio.com. I'm sorry if you were watching, I just took a stretch. But we'll be celebrating 2 years starting in September, basically. But Monday is the actual anniversary. So for the entire month, we'll be celebrating. So each day of our live show, we'll be doing a giveaway. Today, yesterday, and today, we have tickets to the Real Nigga Show. So if you give us a call, 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403, and you will be able to, the first two callers will get a ticket to go see the Real Nigga Show. And only giving away one ticket, so you got to bring somebody. So we still want to help you and show love, but you got to support too. It's really essential that we support our artists, specifically our Black artists here in the city. The Real Nigga Show it's a phenomenal show, an all male cast with some sneak peeks from our Tracy Jiggets and Miss Sandra Meekins, but the primary characters are all male, all Baltimoreans, like Robert Hardy, Easy Jackson, who else? Joshua Dixon. They got a phenomenal painter that's in the group, and he'll actually be doing his work on display. It opens up next Thursday, the 8th, through Sunday. So definitely come out at Theater Project, and I'll have the exact address and times when we come back. So definitely look out for that. Today is Hot Topics, so we have some interesting hot topics for you, and we'll be doing that in the next couple segments up until 2:00. So definitely look out for that. Today's topic is art, entertainment, and life, and all the hot topics that surround that. So I will be giving you some hot topics. So we definitely want to hear from you. Give us a call, 410-702-5657, or you can text us your questions, your comments, or give us a happy birthday celebration, shout out, whatever, 443-642-9403. Text us a texting number, but the calling number, again, is 410-702-5657. This is the Artist Exchange Radio Show with your host, Nate. I guess Big Mama Ama, she's a little restless. She's in rehearsal mode right now for her show, Radio Golf, which is opening up at Arena Playhouse. So we're going to go out and shout her out and try to do an artist exchange night at the Arena Playhouse. So look out for that ticket information. We're going to try to fill the building to support arena players as well as our lovely Big Mama Ama. So look out for those dates as well. Also, lastly, in this section, I want to give out some information on sponsorship. The Artist Exchange has been doing pretty well for the last 2 years, but we really need your help. We really need your support. I give a lot of my time and energy to other people's projects, and that's not to say, well, I support you, so support me, but we really need your help here at the Artist Exchange. So we want to help you promote and advertise and market your ventures, your business, your artistry, your work, and we have very affordable prices and package deals that will be custom suited for your business, your work, so on and so forth. So definitely hit me up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. If you're looking for some creative marketing strategies for your business, and we really help you. We have a 360 program here where we really help you in all aspects of marketing and promotion of your business, and we have some great resources to help you in addition to what we offer here as well. So hit me up again, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, and inquire about, put in the subject line, I want to be a sponsor. And we have other events that are connected to the radio show that we would love to have you on as a sponsor. It would really mean a lot to me if you definitely support it in that way. And if you just want to give a general donation, you can go to our website at www.beexposedradio.com and click on the donation button and leave your donation. I really appreciate it. And we have some awesome surprises for you in the month of September for all of our past sponsors and all of our present and future sponsors. So definitely look out for that and be able to give a lot of information on the 17th. That's also our sponsorship day. So you can come out and see the studio and let us help you with marketing and branding. So with that being said, again, I'm throwing a call out there. Give us a call, 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to go pay some bills. I'm going to go use the laboratory, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show at BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's always talking about somebody. I don't know what's going on.
The Style Lounge. For a personalized fashion experience, the Style Lounge is where you should be. From clothing, jewelry, handbags, and accessories, contact us for pop-up shops, vending opportunities, and more. Let us help you enhance your style. Let's discover your inner fashion ego. We are available for on-site and off-site consultations. For your appointment, call 443-248-8879. 15% off with business card.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Monny from Talk Lately. I want y'all to sit back and listen to this flashback. We be tripping.
I mean, really, but I mean, he might have. I got him maybe jacking her up.
The kids said he did it.
But this is Floyd Mayweather punching her head repeatedly, and like she doesn't have like brain damage.
No, she didn't have brain damage. I don't think he was hitting her like that. Or he probably was like, say something else. Say something else.
That
he probably wasn't like tagging her.
Right.
He probably was just like, and the kids was like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
Why do they have that accent? Why? Why do his kids have that accent?
I just pictured them looking like African. I didn't want to have to admit that. I don't know what they're going to do about my mouth, but just check out the show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's more of the same right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're listening to the station with their ear to the streets. BeExposedRadio.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yeah, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's
it.
what it is.
When you have a lot of people retiring early, it's funny. A lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old, to Shaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now because they're seeing a lot of things from the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. it's not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committed suicide because of the banging and the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like before the big emphasis came about whole concussions and what's going on, we was taught they run to the wall. You can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitude to have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything.
Right.
And later on down the line, because just like you said, once the game is over, when you've been in a game and you think about it, because I tell people the NFL, any sports, whether it's male or female, is a semi-military, because you're told when to get up, when to work out, what to eat, when to play. All right, now you got a curfew, you got to be in the bed by this time. And you do it for years and years, and all of a sudden, bam, it's done. So what do you do?
Right.
So just like in a military that have with PTSD. We have that because we so used to having a certain way. And I remember watching this Brian Gumbel on HBO, it was like years ago, and a guy would act like he was getting dressed, a real good football player, would walk his daughter to the bus stop, and he would come back in the house, close the curtains, and just sit there because he didn't know how else to handle himself. Because he was so used to being told what to do, because our schedule are laid out. By this time, you got to do this. By this time, you got to do this. Eat at this time, back on the field. So,
hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're listening to the station with their ear to the streets. BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monny, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
The Style Lounge. For a personalized fashion experience, the Style Lounge is where you should be. From clothing, jewelry, handbags, and accessories, contact us for pop-up shops, vending opportunities, and more. Let us help you enhance your style. Let's discover your inner fashion ego. We are available for on-site and off-site consultations. For your appointment, call 443-248-8879. 15% off with business card.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Late 40s, early 50s. That's not uncommon. It's a lot of. I mean, I can give you examples like that.
But it's a good thing he's dead because she can actually move on. Like you can't move on. If he was alive, if he was alive and she found out she was having sex with her father for 15 years.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Shane's Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. Today we'll be bringing up some entertainment news, life-ish, art-ish. And like I was saying, the open house will be September the 17th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from the studio. So come on down 110 East Lexington Street. Bring a friend. It's open to the public. We'll be focusing on the industry of media, so the media industry. So there'll be a lot of bloggers here, other radio stations, other radio shows outside of Be Exposed will be in the building. So if you are an artist or you have a business or such, this will be a perfect time for you to come down because you'll get to meet a lot of other shows and set up some other interview dates for yourself. It's all the purpose of networking and just meeting other businesses to possibly partner with. So today is Hot Topics Day. Alma isn't here. I don't know if she's coming today, but she's in rehearsal right now for a show. Oh, there she go right there. She's in the building. Miss Actress Extraordinaire. Oh, she got a bag with her. It's not Chipotle. That looks like Panera Bread. Look at her. She knows how to rub it in. So Alma just stepped in the building, but also joining me today is my brother, my fat head brother is in the building with me today. One of my really, really good friends. Anthony, I'm not gonna give his real name because he probably got warrants and shit. I don't want nobody to come looking for him. He's a professional person.
Oh.
So we are my real job.
Oh wow.
It's not an artist. It's
actually right down the street too.
Yeah. He works for Monny. This is Monny's like long lost brother. They the same person basically. I lied to you, like really the same person. That's funny. Anthony has joined me today. So for the month of September, I'll be bringing like some surprise people through and some interesting individuals through. This smells really good. I don't know what it is, and it feels hot.
Well, I think what you smell is
the food.
Is what I got, but that you'll enjoy.
She put her shit away.
Well, it's just over here on the side.
But today,
steak on Asiago bread.
Yeah, I got a steak.
I forgot to say he was fat too.
Yeah.
Here's a fat man on the inside.
Okay. If I had known that, I would have brought more. I'm sorry.
But we are here today doing Hot Topics. So we'll be bringing up some interesting tidbits. So we got a minute left. Let us know how rehearsal's going.
Rehearsals are going really well, actually. I'm really enjoying it. I really like the process. I like working with David.
He's a slave driver. Low key.
I appreciate it though, because I'm definitely a take two kind of person. Like I like, all right.
It's about the
let's
details.
Let's not do this time. Do it again. All right. Like he lets you run it.
Yes. Then that's the fun. It's not like, oh, let's get in rehearsal. He doesn't care about timing.
And he lets you, and he lets you take choices and he lets you explore them because he kind of is like, okay, where are you going with that? So, I really appreciate the process. I'm enjoying it. Because there scenes it does take a while.
Because he takes his time. He starts from the beginning and just works through, and he's not in a rush to get to the end,
right?
And just run the whole thing.
So I get the chance to see the other actors, and some of the exercises he puts us through. God,
it's fun. Like this is what rehearsal should be.
Yes,
and David would be an awesome theater teacher. He teaches like speech and stuff like that. But he would be an awesome theater teacher because he really goes through and takes his time. But we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with me, your host, Nate, Big Mama Alma, my co-host, and Anthony Ant is with us today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yeah, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's what it is.
Well, you have a lot of people retiring early. It's funny. A lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old, to Shaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now because they're seeing a lot of things from the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. Is not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committed suicide because of the banging and the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like before the big emphasis came about whole concussions and what's going on, we was taught you just run to the wall. You can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitude to have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything. Right. And later on down the line, because just like you said, once the game is over, when you've been in a game and you think about it, because I tell people the NFL, any sports, whether it's male or female, is a semi-military because you're told when to get up, when to work out, what to eat, when to play. All right, now you got a curfew, you got to be in the bed by this time. You do it for years and years, and all of a sudden, bam, it's done. So what do you do?
Right.
So just like in a military that have with PTSD. We have that because we so used to having a certain way. And I remember watching this Brian Gumbel on HBO, it was like years ago, and a guy would act like he was getting dressed, a real good football player, would walk his daughter to the bus stop, and he would come back in the house, close the curtains, and just sit there because he didn't know how else to handle himself. He was so used to being told what to do because our schedule are laid out. By this time, you got to do this. By this time, you got to do this. Eat at this time, back on the field. So,
hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live. Here, live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talk dirty to me. I love it. It's awesome. It's all mine. It's me going every day.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You're supposed to learn to do something new if you don't experiment and try something new and see how it works. There are scientific studies that prove that things that actually do improve a child's performance in school all involve parents participating. So if I am no longer grading you on what you do at home, but I send you home with an assignment to have dinner with your parents or to talk about what you learned and then come back and tell the rest of the class what you discussed at home about what we learned yesterday. That for me seems much more effective and much more purposeful than just giving someone a worksheet here, get out of my face, take this and go, take this and go. Now, I like the idea of not grading homework because I was a kid who would go home and do the homework and then forget to bring it back. But I did my class and I did my work in class and I made a B or a C or an A on the test. So why am I failing? Because I'm not a homework fan, so I can see it not. It wasn't necessary for me to be able to pass.
Part of this discussion, welcome back to the Artist Exchange Show. Baltimore County they have decided, and I'm quite sure a lot of other counties and a lot of other cities are going to follow suit with this, but they have decided to not grade students on homework behavior. Baltimore County, Maryland, a new grading policy is stirring up controversy in Baltimore County after educators decide that students will be graded only on what they learn, not how they behave or if they do their homework. The backpacks are out as students in Baltimore County celebrate the start of another school year. And part of it for me, everybody has a different learning style. And a lot of these rules are being developed not by teachers who can tell you, well, this student learns this way, this student learns this way. It's being governed by people who are not in the classroom directly. And I know the big push is to force parents to be more involved, but especially in inner city schools, you'll realize a lot of parents aren't as involved, not because they're just negligent, but a lot of parents are working, and not just in inner city schools, but they're working more. Parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs to make things meet. And so they're not there with the child to make sure they do their homework. And I just feel telling a child, well, I'm not going to give you a homework assignment. I agree with what you were saying, like go home and talk about what you did. That's your homework assignment. But when you tell somebody you're not being graded on this, I'm not doing it. I never did extra credit. I was not that person because I did the required work.
Well, that's
extra
fine.
Credit was like, okay.
But that's just it, though. It's not required. It's so, okay, fine. You don't have to do it because it's not required. Right. But if you would like to, because there are those, I definitely had moments when I was in school where I was willing to do a little more, willing to learn a little more because this particular subject interests me. So it's kind of, I think that removing the need to grade the homework is all you really need to do. I mean, if you want to here's some extra work to take home if you feel like you need the practice. But we've covered this. Tomorrow we're moving on to the next thing. Spend some time thinking about looking at your notes. Like that's what you do in college.
But it's still, but that's once you got to a level where you've retained some information. Not grading homework and grading assignments based on knowing where a child is over a certain course of time. And if you don't know that, when it comes time to take a test and that child fails, I don't know where they fell short. Normally, homework tells me where you fell short outside of at the end result, which is the test at the end. And this is moving us past or moving us backwards actually to a place where they're teaching children to take a test. And then nobody's really retaining information on basic stuff like what is the capital of the city that you're actually in? People will say DC, and I've heard them say DC and did not realize it's Annapolis because they were not taught those things and they were being taught for a test and not for long-term knowledge. And that's the issue that I have because I see a lot of children so this works. So this happens, this gets put into place. The child who is doing well, who doesn't need this, then gets held back because now I got to catch this child up to this level. So then this child gets put into a special education class because they're not on a specific level based on what a test says. If they had some preparation like homework, and I don't think the grade should be so heavy, mean as though it determines whether you pass or fail, but I think it should still be a part of the curriculum. The fact that they don't have textbooks anymore scares me. So people not reading anymore. They're looking up things on YouTube and having things read to them. So they're not reading anymore. They're not comprehending what they're actually told to read. That's scary to me.
I agree. I think that is scary. And my only response to you is that the government isn't really trying to educate your children. Like that's not the main goal. The main education is a personal thing. You are in charge of your education. I think that if we begin to have students understand that at an earlier age, we begin to foster a new attitude and a new way of thinking towards it. And I think that not forcing someone to go home and practice, having someone recognize, you know what, I probably should take home this practice work and do this. But that again begins to begins to let you know the difference between personalities. You know, some people are overachievers. Some people are, no, this is what I was supposed to do. This is all I needed to do. Okay, I'm good. And then there are those who are like, oh, I ain't worried about none of that at all. So, I mean, that's going to always be a truth. So no matter how you structure it, those three categories of people will always be there and they will always react the same way. They're either going to overachieve, they're going to do what they're supposed to, or they're not going to do a damn thing.
And you're speaking as someone who's been a student and who has a child now.
Yes.
I would say to that person, homeschool your child. Because the greater majority of people need structure. And that's what education, that's why it's mandated that your child has to go to school from K to 12. Unless they take a test that say they can get out at 16. But other than that, they have to be in a school environment. That's why it's mandated, because then we'll have a country full of idiots that like we have now. And I say that not to point a finger, but that's the reality, because children aren't made to read anymore. There aren't any reading programs left in schools or anything like that.
But they all have homework now, and it hasn't changed that. So
it's made it worse. That's my part of my point. It's made it worse. Mr. Shaw, you have an opinion?
I didn't even know kids didn't bring in books to school. Like I'm used to taking books every day. Like I went to Poly and we had books, like 6 textbooks to take home.
Yeah.
So some of it was smart. We would take some of the books and leave the books here and take a book on home so we could have it read. We had to lug it back and forth. But I'm like, how do you assess a kid's development if you don't have homework?
Yeah.
Because it's like you need classwork and you need homework. I think it should be in tandem. I don't think it should be one or other, because Like you give a lesson plan, you do the lesson plan in class. Some kids are going to learn it easily. Other kids might need the homework when they go home. If they don't have a parent who's there to help them, at least when they come back to school, they can say like, "Oh, this is what I had trouble with. This is what I need to go over."
And I'm not saying eliminate homework. I'm just saying we don't need to grade it. That's my thing. I don't think that grading it is necessary.
But what is the issue with grading, right? Well, what's the part of grading? Because when you get to college, you get graded.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a work environment, your paycheck or your lack of, it's a grading system. So what
your evaluation?
Your evaluation. So
because it's not that we're not grading them on anything. I'm just not grading you on this extra take home, on this practice stuff. You need the practice. Here's something that you can take home and practice. But I'm not grading you on it. You come to me and say, "Hey, this is where I had issue with this practice. Can you help me figure it out?" So that
but I think if you don't take it seriously, most kids are gonna be like, "Oh, I don't care. I ain't doing that."
Yeah, like if you tell me
like if my grade is not dependent on this, then why am I doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and watch TV and eat bologna and cheese sandwiches.
Go outside and play.
But your overall grade is, because if you don't understand the work and you didn't take home the practice when it was offered to you, and then the test comes around, you failed. That's not the teacher's fault.
It's not. It's not.
the teacher's fault.
But see, that's what is happening in colleges now, because then you have the freedom to do exactly what you're saying, but they're giving that freedom to somebody in the first grade now, opposed to I'm in college and oh my God,
you're an adult.
Right, I'm an adult. So if I'd have learned that as a child, that structure, that discipline, I would be able to go to college and pick my own classes and pick when I can do my work, opposed to this is when you're telling me to do my work.
Or you learn how to do your work on your own. Because I'm a procrastinator. So for me, it's easy.
Amen.
The class right before the class, like there's
all right.
no work.
And certain subjects are easy for me, like math, science, history. But reading was easy, but writing is my weak spot. So for me, it was like I might write a paper the night before versus like I can get every other subject out the way.
Right.
So it varies from person to person. So I just think homework is important. It should have a grade. That way you have that structure.
And a lot of people have commented on it. Like one person says, I don't like it because I feel like they're lowering the standards of our students. Another person says, starting this school year, all student grades will align to be identified courses or grade level standards, said Chief Academic Officer.
If you are worried about them lowering our standards, then agree to have the school day set up for an 8-hour day. Then we don't need homework. They're in school the whole time that you're at work. They're with a teacher who's learning.
Well, who's going to pay for that?
We are, it's taxpayers.
So now I have to pay.
But you're the one. You're a parent telling me that you're worried that your child isn't getting enough education because I don't see the point.
For somebody who says that, I would believe that she was someone who is offered, because the days that I didn't get homework, trust and believe, it better not have been a Friday, because my mother would have been stewing for 2 days and she'd have showed up on Monday and asked why I didn't get homework. Like I had that type of parent, but there are parents that won't say anything. Like as I got older, I could lie to my mother more. I was like, yeah, we didn't get homework today. I'm just supposed to study this. And I better be having a book in front of me at least and doing something. So I just like, I might as well just do my homework, because it's taking more energy to lie than it is for me just not do my homework. But some parents are that, academically focused on their children, where some parents will be like, well, you ain't got no homework, all right, we'll go somewhere, because they don't want them in their face. But I worry about the students who then have to suffer because the structure, there are some students who, like I was a good test taker, so I could just guess and get the right answers. I knew how to eliminate what wasn't, but I really wasn't retaining anything. And when my mother realized that, she forced me to do like Sylvan Learning Center and stuff like that so I could retain information a lot better. That is what I worry about when you give a child the option of taking home a book. And because there's still a level of guilt on you when you don't do your homework. Because then you got to think of excuse the day of, or you like scrambling in the class before to do your something. Because you did something you wasn't supposed to do. But now I understand.
So now we're moving from learning into discipline, which is different. That you don't necessarily have to utilize learning as a disciplinary thing. If you want your a child to learn discipline.
Well, but the discipline of learning is a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
As an adult, I have to do work. So I need to know what I'm doing.
You are educating yourself at the end of the day from beginning to end. If you decide not to do your homework, then you decide not to do your homework. Me as a teacher, if I can put myself in a position where I can say, okay, here's some homework you can take and do, but I'm not grading you on it.
But then education shouldn't be mandated then. You should just be able to, just go. We don't need to be paying teachers. We don't need to have schools. If you're not going to mandate education, because apparently it's mandated because people were not sending their children to school at one point in time.
Yeah.
They had them out in farmland.
Yes.
And we had grown adults that did not know how to read.
Yeah.
So now there's a standard of education that we fought for. Like, this standard was something that was fought for, especially people that look like us.
I don't think that this current standard of education has really helped us much. I think we knew more when we didn't have to spend 5 to 7 hours in a classroom listening to some bored person standing at the front. Like, I personally, I'm not a huge fan of the current education system that we have. I'm just not. At the end of the day, you are the one who educates yourself. Some of the most successful people in the world left school. They're like, no, I'm done with this. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that these group of kids have in common is that they're all the same age and that they're all in the same room with the same bored or possibly excited, moving towards bored individual at the front who has been regurgitating the same information for the last 5 to 7 to 20 to 60 years.
Some people could eliminate the idea of school and make it, but that does not work that's somebody's learning style that worked for them. But that doesn't. You can't make that across the board.
So then why do we mandate? So then I'm with you. So then why do we mandate school? If it works for you and your kid, send your kid to school. Otherwise, figure it out.
Yeah, do that, and that's what homeschooling is for. If you feel like my child does not need this type of structure, by all means, take a break and mandate your child from at home. But don't put that into a classroom where I am, as a parent, that I am trying to reinforce these things. And my child just needs this type of structure. But I got to work to make sure he gets this type of long-term stability. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Finish chewing. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monny, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
What is hood respect? Family, life, work, love. We are all from the hood and we all want respect. That's why we wear Hood Respect. Available in men's, women's, and kids. For more information and ordering options, contact Instagram at Hood Respect, Facebook to Mel Martin Sr., and email at hoodrespect.tms71@gmail.com. The look you need is Hood Respect.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
I want y'all to sit back and listen to this flashback. We be tripping.
I mean, really, but I mean, he might have. I got him maybe jacking her up.
The kids said he did it.
But this is Floyd Mayweather punching her head repeatedly, and like she doesn't have like brain damage.
No, she didn't have brain damage. I don't think he was hitting her like that. Or he probably was like, say something else. Say something else.
That
he probably wasn't like tagging her.
Right.
He probably was just like, and the kids was like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
Why do they have that accent? Why? Why do his kids have that accent?
I just pictured them looking like African. I didn't want to have to admit that.
I don't know what they're going to do about my mouth, but just check out the show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's more of the same right here on BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monny, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You're listening to the station with their ear to the streets. BeExposedRadio.com.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's what it is.
When you have a lot of people retiring early, it's funny. A lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old. To Shaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now because they're seeing a lot of things from the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. Is not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committing suicide because of the banging and the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like before the big emphasis came about whole concussions and what's going on, we was taught you just run to the wall. You can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitudes I had.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything.
Right.
And later on down the line, because just like you said, once the game is over, when you've been in a game and you think about it, because I tell people the NFL, any sports, whether it's male or female, is a semi-military because you're told when to get up, when to work out, what to eat, when to play. All right, now you got a curfew, you got to be in the bed by this time. You do it for years and years, and all of a sudden, bam, it's done. So what do you do?
Right.
So just like the military to have with PTSD. We have that because we so used to having a certain way. And I remember watching this Brian Gumbel on HBO, it was like years ago, and a guy would act like he was getting dressed, a real good football player, would walk his daughter to the bus stop, and he would come back in the house, close the curtains, and just sit there because he didn't know how else to handle himself. Because he was so used to being told what to do because our schedules are laid out. By this time, you got to do this. By this time, you got to do this. Eat at this time, back on the field. So,
hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monny, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing It's the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Today's show, and I don't like using this term because then it kind of says that we're all like this. But I'm gonna just say it one time. I'm gonna say nigga shit gets on my nerves.
Yes,
and I never wanted to be that person that was annoyed by stuff.
Oh,
but I am. I really am, and it's been happening all day long. I'm in a line. I'm not gonna say the chain, but I'm in the fast food place this morning, and I'm trying to get my stuff.
Can I say the chain?
No, because they're not paying me. So no, we're not doing that. So I'm trying to get out my change.
Can I do the jingle?
And the lady was like, she's like, can I just get my stuff while you getting your? No, because no, you can't get in front of me while I'm getting my card out. I'm getting my card out of my wallet. I didn't have enough cash, so I had to get my card. She's like, can I get my stuff? And it happened yesterday. Like I was getting a MoneyGram, and I was at the register, and I had to get the code. She's like, can I she put her stuff in front of me, and I just pushed it to the side. Right. You wait in line. Like I just waited in line. Like this a part of my transaction here. Like this arguing. I watched this older lady and this younger guy arguing this morning on my walk down here. And it was just, she stood her ground. I give it to that lady. She stood her ground. And the dude was just being stupid.
Disrespectful.
But then she felt as though she had to be just as ignorant to defend herself justifiably. But it's just, stuff has been annoying. Like people don't care about other people.
Nope.
People with cigarettes, I'm gonna tell you, every single time you're around me with a cigarette, no, I will not move. And he kept saying, I only move away from children and babies. Nigga, you gonna move away from this grown man because I'm not gonna die because it's more people dying from secondhand smoke than there's people that smoke themselves that are dying. Because people, this ignorant stuff. That's it. That's all. I just had to get that out of my system because I felt like being that person. I felt like I was better than somebody. I don't feel like I'm better than you, but you are doing Negro-ish right now, and you need to stop it because you don't care. Like walking into somebody else's establishment and selling your own goods is not
okay.
It's not okay. And then you mad at the security officer for telling you something wrong. Like, what you think is wrong? Right. Like, I'm just trying to sell my stuff. You're not selling your stuff. I pay for this space. Go open up your own store.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you selling what I
sell
in
here. I had to go
here.
get a permit. I had to pay for this, rent this place out, and then you're gonna come in here free of charge and try to sell your crap in here.
But he came into it was like a drugstore selling toothpaste.
Wow.
Like, why would you think that was okay? Like, it gets bad. Bold. But the security officer said you had to leave.
Right.
Like, what is?
You knew you was gonna have to leave. You knew you were gonna have to leave. You knew that going in. That ain't the first time you did.
I'm gonna just say during the daytime, Charles Village can be a place to live. I'm just gonna say to you, in the 4 years that I've lived there, it is definitely a place. If you missing something in your life, if you feel like a void is, move to Charles Village. Just move there. Just the entertainment value alone.
Hey, I used to live there. I loved it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if you feel like your life is boring, if you feel unsettled in the space that you in right now, move to Charles Village. Just move there. You can move all the way up to 33rd or down to North. Move there. I'm telling you, you always have a place. But we're going to take a quick break. That was my Igro moment. Yeah, for the day. I had to get it out. I was trying to surpass it. But we're going to be right back here on Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Don't hide your feelings.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talk dirty to me.
I love it. It's awesome. It's all mine. Gets me going every day.
The Style Lounge. For a personalized fashion experience, the Style Lounge is where you should be. From clothing, jewelry, handbags, and accessories, contact us for pop-up shops, vending opportunities, and more. Let us help you enhance your style. Let's discover your inner fashion ego. We are available for on-site and off-site consultations. For your appointment, call 443-248-8879. 15% off with business card.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
I say he's dead.
6 years after he passed away.
It states she reportedly had heard rumors, but nothing substantial. But then you put the rumors to
while
death.
They were still married.
You sentenced the rumors to death.
While they still were married, she heard rumors.
Right. Or probably all her life she's heard rumors.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Exchange Radio Show. Yeah, he did.
Talk about it.
Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. It is September the 3rd. In just 2 days, the Artist Exchange will be turning 2 years old.
Yeah.
Our second anniversary. So next Friday show, we'll have a special show. We'll have David Mitchell here.
Oh, yay.
I had to pay him off. It's hard to get him in one location. He's a very busy, very popular, very famous young man. So we'll have him. He'll be talking more about radio golf and his new art space that he's in charge of, Motor House, and all his various jobs. This man has a lot of jobs. He works a lot in the city, in the arts and entertainment section. So today's show is on, we're doing hot topics, art, entertainment, and life. And our next story is Governor Hogan has mandated that the school year begins after Labor Day. For a long time, people have been up in arms about this because your child starts school and then after the first week, they go back on vacation and then they go back to school. And I was talking to this with Monny on for you guys' show. And if you didn't know, Alma's the new stand-in host for the Talk Lately show on Tuesdays from 7 to 9. So tune in and get her perspective on things. But this is one of the stories that Monty was preparing for that show. And I thought it was befitting to follow it up after the homework debacle. It is debacle. But he is now put into law that schools will now open up in the state of Maryland after Labor Day. Now, being a parent,
yeah,
does this help you? How does it hurt you? Why do you care? I do, because I want you to go to back to school early. That's my thing. Because as a teacher, I need to go back. I need to be doing something because they normally start the beginning of August.
Well, like I was saying when I talked about this earlier in the week, I'm from Florida, so
you guys go back in August.
Yeah, we would go back. Well, no, we did. We go back in August. But we get out in May. Even. You guys don't get out until June.
Yeah.
So 8 days isn't really going to make that big a difference in my mind. I like the idea of being able to have the entire summer. I think it makes a difference for a kid. I know it made a difference for me. I mean, I like the idea, frankly. I'm not mad. It's the one decision he's made that I'm not mad about.
The one.
Right.
The only one.
Right. So far.
I think a lot of it,
You got a couple more years.
For me, I went to private school. So we started in August and we got out no later than May 15th. And that's normally because we had winter issues. And that was the reason for students going back in August. It used to be mid-August and then it went to the last week of August, only because people were complaining that their children wasn't getting the whole summer, which is ridiculous because they're not learning. And it was a push to help schools be year-round. It was supposed to then, they were supposed to creep up into the beginning of August, June, July, and school was supposed to be year-round. My issue is I went to school year-round. So what the hell is you complaining for? But I still got a summer break. It was more so the first 2 weeks of after school let out, which is normally May 15th to something like that. We got out until June, and then we went back to school. And then like the end of August, the last 2 weeks we got out. And for like 2 weeks, and then we went back to school. So I was used to that schedule since middle school. So it was nothing for me to be able to go to school. Like I was a college student who didn't mind taking summer classes because I was used to going to fucking school
all the time.
And in the summertime.
But and there's an advantage to that. And I didn't like it as a kid, the idea of going to school year round. But now that I'm an adult and understand that it really prepares you for work in America, because as an American, when you graduate college and go to work, if you don't start at a company that automatically gives you a week's vacation, you're working at least 24 months before you get your first real paid vacation. So that's 2 years of your life that you are now selling to this company because American labor laws are set up the way they are. Well, I think it's easier to set a kid up saying, okay, you get a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here, because in real life, you're only going to get a weekend here, a couple days there, a week here. So I've never had an issue with it as an adult. As a kid, I thought it sucked and I had no desire to be a part of a year-round school whatsoever. But there were a couple.
What else would you be doing?
Well, my parents were travelers, so we were on vacations. We did road trips cross country. We did trips out of the country. We did Disney World so many times. My mother had a very good friend who worked there, so she would give us, because her kids were over it, right? So
such problems,
right?
Disney World. Oh, wow.
Not again.
Such a hardship.
Most of the schools in that Florida area, they go there for like class trips.
Yeah, that's right. Right, it is. It's our Six Flags. So you're kind of over it by the time you're graduating. Grad night's one of my favorite things. They actually open it up to the whole country. So if you've never heard of it,
right.
At the end of the school year, for all of the seniors, whoever can raise the money and spend it can go and be in the Disney World parks overnight. So they open the park up to you from like 7 at night or whatever time it closes. They close for like an hour and then they reopen, and it's open until like 7 in the morning. So it's really cool. And it's just a bunch of 18-year-olds running around. It's mostly, semen and screaming, but it's really good for morale. You get a chance to meet kids from other states and from other cities in Florida, because everyone in Florida goes unless your school gets banned. That's a story for another show, though. But
it happens.
Right. But they open it up to the whole country. So it's really a really cool networking opportunity in my mind. But they open up all of the parks. So you can go to the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center, to Tsunami Bay, Treasure Island, that's what it is, to Treasure Island, all of the different, you can go to any one. So it's all based on how you plan it as your senior class. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. And it might be the only chance you get to go in all of your life, because it's not cheap.
We missed the damn chance.
Yeah. Only thing I'm in favor of is I was in favor.
Well, I know I would love to plan. I want to plan a trip to Disney World this year in 2017.
I said that a month ago, and that's happened.
Well, you guys act like I was talking about doing kid shit, so I was like, all right, well, fine.
I was ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still ready to go to the White House.
All right.
That is your assignment.
That's my assignment.
That's your assignment.
Okay. Before Michelle and
Barack,
leave.
that's,
Notice I said
that's
Michelle
coming.
first, right? But,
that's coming. And well,
Stacey
for a little while, it takes them a little while to get all of the stuff changed over. And all of the little collateral that they signed. Thanks for coming, Michelle and Barack. It takes a little while for them to change over all that stuff. So as long as you go in like the first 6 months after something that has a Michelle and Barack instead of Hillary. Good luck with that. It's really hard to get in.
This story is really, I think depending on who you talk to, it will determine what side of it you're on. As somebody who taught, I know a lot of preparation goes into that first week and getting children acclimated to.
So now you have more time.
Well, they got more. well, not more time, but more time with the children, because normally the teachers come back like at least 2 weeks before school opens up. But that first week is more teachers getting acclimated to their students getting used to that. So those 4 days.
So it's better for them not to have that break abrupt.
Yes, in my opinion, that's normally what it is.
Especially when you're dealing with younger children.
Right.
It's like, okay, you came in and it's like, okay. And then you got a break for 3 days. And it's like, okay, now you got to get readjusted to coming right back to school.
Yeah.
When you can just say, okay, if we do it after Labor Day, then it's just a straight flow.
Yeah.
It's 8
well, it depends on who.
days.
Yeah.
It's 8 days. It's 8 days.
Well, you're speaking as someone who's not in charge of students year round. So it's hard for students to get out of the mindset of, I've been asleep all summer. I
don't understand the issue why we can't start it after. It's 8 days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like for a teacher, and a lot of these things are not being asked to the teachers. Is this a cool thing to do?
Well, it's not about the teachers. It's about revenue. They're trying to generate revenue mostly for Ocean City,
and that's
because that's the main reason for them having this. Which I don't have a problem, especially if they get the money back to Baltimore City that he slashed out our budget.
What I should have done last night. I was trying to figure out what I should do last night.
Well, and that's another thing. First of all, if you keep having a Maryland Fair the same week that school opens up, that's just stupid ass. That's your problem. Like, why would you do that? That is dumb. The fair keeps scheduling itself the week that school open up. I'm just saying, the teachers aren't really being asked. If you ask a lot of teachers, a lot of teachers like, well, sure, I can take another week without these children. But teachers are in the business of teaching, and they get their money by teaching, and they like teaching. They'll say that first week is definitely for preparation, to just wean them off of being in the house all summer, and then they give them a little break, and then they come right back, and they should be ready to work when they come back from Labor Day. You should be ready to work. But it's all about preparations. But somebody who is not in the school system, it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, especially if you're a parent, like, this is an inconvenience to me. How's it inconvenience? Plan accordingly.
Well, people are, but now it's like it gives people more time to say, like, now I don't have to figure out what to do, because now I have those 8 days to do that now. Like, if I do want to go down to Ocean City, or if I do want to go to out of state somewhere else,
but you had all summer to do that.
But sometimes people don't.
Yeah,
because it's like you talking about work. Everybody, even if you get vacation, a lot of people don't use their vacation time or personal time because they're scared to lose their job. And if you take too much time off, they feel like you're not an efficient worker. So they don't edge like, okay, I can't take too much time because I might be fired or terminated.
So you go, and it's the same thing. So your personal feelings affect everybody else. So the fact that you don't want to take a vacation on your job,
it's not personal
but
feelings,
you have children, so types of things happen.
Typically, the last summer vacations are ending over the Labor Day weekend. Typically.
Or planning.
I mean, you can say that if you want.
But the schools have been opening up. It's not like this year we decided to open up before Labor Day.
In my mind,
always been like that.
In my mind, as a parent, if the best deal I could get was for the last 2 weeks of August, you gonna miss them 8 days, because at the end of the day, I'm thinking about the long term. School is
and that's
the world and the bucket of the world and the things. And I am a believer in learning in the world, though. So as much as school is valuable,
you're not learning that much in the first couple of days.
Alma's going to homeschool. That's what we're going to put. Alma is going to homeschool, because you'll
will be a lot of homeschooling.
Not you specifically, but parents who think like you. then try to put that on parents who don't think like you. And that's what the school is set up for, parents who don't think like you. Homeschool is meant for parents that think like you. I'm sorry.
You're making a
homeschool
parent
groups.
thing, but it's not. It's a revenue thing for far as our state is concerned, because
Exactly.
they're just trying to generate revenue. So it's
So
I don't think they really.
they don't
I don't even
care.
think they care about the parents or the students in either way or not. They just want to say, how can we make Maryland more money?
Exactly.
That's their main.
So they're not even thinking about
No.
school, because in Maryland, where you never know where the weather will go, you don't know how much further over time the school year is going to go, because there's been times where school had to go to almost July but now I think part of this mandate is that school has to be over by June the 15th.
Yeah.
But in those so they're going to have to move those teacher days to Saturdays now.
Mm-hmm.
And now pay them for a Saturday, an extra Saturday, opposed to putting that, because and they're taking more time from the students by having them I think they happen once a month now.
Yeah.
For a day or two.
like a half a day or a day off.
Well, no, they the whole day, and then that's teacher development day.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So once a month that happens in schools now. So for most the public school system that happens. So now they're going to move those days to weekends or to holidays that's normally designated, or they're going to have to get rid of that altogether. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Monny found me here.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S.
Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's what it is.
So you have a lot of people retiring early. It's funny. A lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old, to Brickashaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now, because they're seeing a lot of things from the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. Is not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committing suicide because of the banging in the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like when before the big emphasis came about whole concussions and what's going on, you know, we was taught you just run to the wall. You know, you can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitudes I had.
Right.
Yeah. It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything.
Right.
And later on down the line, because just like you said, once the game is over, when you've been in a game and you think about it, because I tell people the NFL, any sports, whether it's male or female, is a semi-military because you're told when to get up, when to work out, what to eat, when to play. All right, now you got a curfew, you got to be in the bed by this time. You do it for years and years, and all of a sudden, bam, it's done. So what do you do?
Right.
So just like in a military that have with PTSD. We have that because we so used to having a certain way. And I remember watching this Brian Gumbel on HBO, it was like years ago, and a guy would act like he was getting dressed, a real good football player, would walk his daughter to the bus stop, and he would come back in the house, close the curtains, and just sit there because he didn't know how else to handle himself. Because he was so used to being told what to do because our schedule are laid out. By this time, you got to do this. By this time, you got to do this. Eat at this time, back on the field. So,
hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So you was out the door. It was 1:30 when you made the video. The first one.
What video?
His little FaceTime. Facebook Live.
I think we're on.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to. I didn't see the clock moving. Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on The Exposed Radio. I don't. So let me first of all tell you, I'm not a person that loses my keys. So yesterday, in a haste, I misplaced my keys.
Yeah, let's hear the excuse.
So now I'm working on not being an overreactive person, like being that person. So all day, what was like 5:30, and we got out here maybe like almost 12, 11 something. I'm panicking. It's not in the CVS where I was at. I ran from in front of this building down to Calvert, up to the next light on, I don't know what that street, Saratoga, ran. I'm hot because I was running after the Uber. And I knew he saw me. I know you saw me.
Right.
Because I didn't have time. My phone was dead. Duh. I would have did that, but my phone was dead. So come to find out, my keys were in my front door.
Oh, wow.
Now, all day long. And I was hoping that's not what it is because I don't live in a horrible neighborhood, but people curious in my neighborhood.
Yes, they are.
And I had luggage sitting in the hallway, not upstairs in my apartment, and it wasn't at my apartment door. It was the front door to the building.
Oh, whoa.
And nobody ever uses that door but me. And when we pulled up, like, please don't let these fucking keys. I would have rather lost my keys
than they just be sitting in the door like that.
Front door.
Yes, yes.
At least they were still sitting there.
I agree.
Yes. My heart dropped. Yeah. But I was afraid to go in the building.
Thank you note on there instead of the key.
Right.
Word.
Exactly, because all my luggage was still there. And then I had went to the store and I was rushing here. So I was like, I'm just going to leave this stuff in the hallway. And I must have, in that haste, just left them in the door. And I thought I saw where I left them. I'm just telling you, my heart. I sit on the step for maybe like a half an hour.
Just breathing.
Yeah, just breathe. Like, because I didn't want to go in the apartment. Like, what if they waiting on me? What if the murderer is waiting in my apartment? And this was the setup. Like, we gonna trick his ass into getting up here. Like, my mind goes there. But I was nervous. Luckily, it's like a little vestibule. You know, once you go up the steps, and then it's like a door so. Mm-hmm. But we normally leave our mail, so it's not like a horrible problem. But it was still at night, and it still could be. Just right. A lot of people drink in my neighborhood.
Just
like, it's a lot of bars.
Feeling
it
scary.
Is. It's a lot of white boys that just like doing practical jokes. So it could have been anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Neighborhoods are always tricky. I'm not a fan of mine, but you know, we've got The Walking Dead in my neighborhood.
The Heights.
So.
The Village.
Washington Village.
The Village.
The Village.
It's really.
Yeah. Yeah.
PWT.
They be strong with some
Oh, I needed that. That is a promo right there. Because he swear he lives in Westminster. Money. He lives in Westport.
He don't even live. You know what? Monny Street isn't even as bad as mine. My street is so. My
Did you know
street.
it was kids on the street?
They weren't there when I moved there.
Jordan,
There was no kids.
but you moved in. You moved in the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
Summer. August last year.
Yeah, August of last year.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. See if they was in school.
They probably was at the pool.
No,
really?
there's no pools around there.
Damn.
I knew there was a ton of kids.
I got a hydrant.
No.
They
I
got
knew
the
there was a
park.
ton of
That's
kids. No,
about it.
yeah. But the park is closed right now. You know that they closed it in.
How you close? The park?
No,
What
they
festival?
closed 2 months ago. They closed the playground and they shut it down. I mean, they pulled because they used to have stuff at the bottom so that the kids, if they fell, they would land on something soft. They pulled all that up. They put wire. I'm like, it's the middle of summer. Y'all
That's the look at the city. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
Isn't it? At the height of
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monny, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What is hood respect? Family, life, work, love. We are all from the hood and we all want respect. That's why we wear Hood Respect. Available in men's, women's, and kids. For more information and ordering options, contact Instagram at Hood Respect, Facebook to Mel Martin Sr., and email at hoodrespect.tms71@gmail.com. The look you need is Hood Respect.
You're listening to the station with their ear to the streets. BeExposedRadio.com.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step. You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics, chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
That is annoying to me. And then we complain about not having stuff. There's an event for Black professionals this weekend.
I don't do clubs.
No Labor Day plans. Check out my curated list of Labor Day events for Black professionals in Washington, D.C. Now, how professional are these events going to be?
I doubt it.
Right, that's the question that you asked. I know the intended population, but how good is
professional are you really
by
Labor Day
location.
weekend? Read through them and then just read the ones you think are the ones. But real quick, we have one more story that we're going to get to, and I'm not going to do that one. That's stupid. But it's I'll get on. Oh no, here's go right here. That's so Baltimore County School Board votes. Baltimore County is doing a lot of stuff. They are voting against closing for Muslim holidays. I'm not against people not like going to school or going to work on their religious holidays, but I don't feel like it should be law, because then at that point, everybody's going to have something that they want. And I think that's probably why they did not do it, probably for other reasons too. But every religion or every belief system is going to want to insert, well, I don't feel like we should, and then it's going to be like, we're going to be going to school twice a year. We're going to be going to work twice a year, because everybody's going to feel like they need a day for their thing or whatever their faith or belief is.
Well, there's another argument for the year-round school system.
Oh, what? Because then
right, because then those who have religious holidays that don't fall on the American-supported Christian religious holidays get their time out, and they're not really missing a lot of school because they're just going on a week that's a little different from everyone else's. But I mean,
it will be different for I think Jewish people have excused absence. I think you can get an excused absence for if you're Muslim.
Yeah, right now it's set up. You can get an excused
But
absence.
I think for Jewish and Muslim
anybody
holidays,
can get an excused absence.
They follow a lunar calendar for their religious observance. So it's not even going to be the same day every year. It's going to vary from time to time. So certain things might fall on a school day and some might not at all. But you're not going to know until that particular year.
That's how Easter is.
Well, one of the things that a lot of people say is find a faith-based, specifically school that benefits your religion. Like send your children to a school that is run by your faith.
But that's gonna be hard for Muslim people because most of the schools or parochial schools are geared to Catholic or Christian. There are Jewish schools that people go to too, but it is not a plethora, or I'm sure there are
and
Muslim
they're
schools,
and I'm sure they're highly expensive. Yeah.
So everybody's not going to be able to go to those schools.
Well, I would think. Well, I think that then, and not just speaking to Muslims, but people of certain faiths, or faiths where they are really strong and they have those type of days that they observe. they need to look into doing their own public school system, starting their own charter school, and that would really help. So we're not trying to change things for a whole body of people because you have a specific religion. Because I may not support that.
Adhere. To that.
I don't adhere to that religion or that belief system. So I believe that's one of the things that I don't see a lot is like a Muslim geared charter school.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Not in this country.
It might exist, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm
but
sure
I think they should just. I think it should be an excuse absent. I think it just give them an excuse absent if they're going to follow their.
Well, I think that happens.
I think that's fine.
They have that.
Yeah, they do. They do that already.
It's specific religions that utilize it, but it's really, if you look at the rule for it, it's open to your religion, so you can get that excuse absent. I think it goes up to a certain amount of times per year that you can do it. But it's still considered an excuse absent. You have to put it in. Like, don't just be like, "Oh, my child not gonna show up today," because. But you have to.
But it's like I said, it's going to vary from case to case because their calendar base for their religious observance doesn't follow like our I don't know what calendar we're using, agrarian, Julian, whatever calendar we're using at this point.
365 days. That's all I know.
This website.
So it's going to vary. So for every year,
I wouldn't mind doing the Afropolitan. That sounds like a lot.
So the last story that we have today is now I have to preface this by saying I am growing into a Beyonce fan.
I've always been a Bey fan,
but like I'm not a fanatic.
Oh yeah, no.
But because I think, and I grew into a fan because so many people hated her, or so many people discredited her.
Right.
So it made me look into her body of work and really examine what she's been able to do. But it has now gotten to the point where grown people are calling her daughter ugly on social media. And I'm quite sure this is something that has happened already. But people are being really, and it started with this story when she took her to the VMAs, and people were really
I think she's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
she's a kid and she'll grow into. I personally think she's going to be very beautiful.
But this is how her mother looked when she was younger.
Yeah,
my thing is,
I think she's going to be incredibly beautiful.
Yeah,
I personally think we're all going. I mean, she very Jay-Z in the jaw, and we all know that, and that's. We all knew something was gonna happen, but
that's a child, though. So
I think that in the end, she's got a very graceful jawline. It's Jay-Z. It's strong, but it's graceful. I think in the end, she's gonna be really beautiful, honestly. So
I'm like, I think she's a cute kid, but it shouldn't even matter.
A lot of kids are ugly.
It should not. A lot of people are ugly inside and out.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
a lot
especially
of kids
people
are
making those comments
they
about
got,
their child.
And it's probably hard for her. It's probably hard for her not to keep her out of limelight because she doesn't want an unhealthy. She doesn't want to raise her children in an unhealthy environment.
To be afraid of the world.
Yeah, to be afraid of the world because your mother is Beyonce and your dad is Jay-Z, so people are gonna know who you are.
Right.
So they probably want to introduce that to her now. But
and help
like
her
this, the
learn the
memes that
coping.
came out from this picture alone.
Yo.
It was just crazy.
Some of them were hilarious.
They were hilarious. Because I was like, I did like the black mother. The black mother memes are like, you better fix your face. Yeah, like we going. Like I get those things because as a kid, you would hear certain things like, get yourself together.
Right,
don't embarrass me.
But it looked like I went back and watched the video of it, and it looks like the little girl probably was a little overwhelmed. So Beyonce walked her in, and she probably gave her to somebody who she could protect her from. But then she came back out and took pictures.
Right.
So I think it may have been just a little too much. And it's cameras and they all yelling your mother's name and they're yelling your name.
Yeah.
And it probably, she looked like she was overwhelmed. So yeah.
She probably just trying to comfort her. She's probably comfort her daughter.
She came back out eventually and finished taking the pictures.
Right.
But people were yelling things because they thought she was just snubbing them. And she took her daughter to safety and came back out. I would have not liked her if she'd have just pushed her off to the side and could continue taking pictures. Right. But she did what a parent was supposed to do. And gave her some safety.
My thing with that is, it's like, even if she is not grows up to be, I guess, aesthetically pleasing to most people, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It does not matter the long and short of, I don't want to say ugly, but I'm just saying, like, some people are more aesthetically pleasing or have a more, I guess, symmetrical face that fit the features that fit that most people find traditionally attractive. It don't matter. It does not matter. And especially for young girls, it's like you already setting her up for failure because you basically seeing her only worth is as a female or as a
It's
young
right,
woman
it's
is how
attractive
she
she is.
attractive she looks. And then if she used that attractiveness to her advantage, then she's a gold digger
Then
or
she's
she's
Kim
a whore.
Kardashian and no one
Yeah.
likes her.
So you can't win from losing as a young woman in this
That's
world,
true.
especially a young black woman or a black woman, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna be judged on so many different things, how she
Yeah.
looks, and like she's a child. Let her be a child. Let her be happy. Let her mom do her job. What she did was doing. But in the same token, as a mom, she said, "Hey, that's my baby. I'm gonna take care of my baby first. Like I did, but I did my little photos or whatever. Y'all gonna either have to wait or you're just not gonna do them."
So my question. Nah, I'm gonna get off her because I really felt like that was an ugly story. Because I have 4 nieces, and I would punch somebody in their face.
Yeah, that's
I really
not okay.
would. And
Yeah, she's very Jay-Z in the
yeah.
face, but I think she's a cute kid.
Celebrities and how they on this pedestal, so we expect for them to be certain things, and that's
They are
translating me
people.
into the Colin. Is it Kaepernick?
Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick story, and how he is refusing to be a part of the
participate in the national
Now,
anthem.
I don't remember when I had to put my hand over my heart for the national anthem.
It's
I know
generally for
more.
the Pledge of Allegiance when you're in school.
Right. And that was it. Even in public events,
All
that's
you had to do
normally-
was stand.
Yeah, you normally had to just stand for it. But now it's gotten to the point where I have to put my hand over my heart for it. And you just making up stuff at this point.
Right, that's all.
And they showed a Senate meeting where they were doing it, but it was senators that were sitting down. There were senators that was it looked like they was on their phone.
Doing work.
Right, doing work. And they wasn't doing it. And it was crazy how something like that doesn't get noticed. But this young man who he took a stance for a reason. It wasn't like, I
don't feel like Tyra, I'm tired.
Instagram.
Right.
But it's the same stand that Muhammad Ali has done before. It's the same stand that Jackie Robinson did before. He said he was not going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, the national anthem during that time, because it's like America then wasn't holding up to the values that they state,
Especially
and it
then,
still doesn't hold up to the
Right.
values that they state. And when addressing people of color and other marginalized groups in our country, so I commend them and I support them, and I'm the same way. I think most people, we just do it because it's out of not even tradition. It's just like, okay, it's just easy for me to stand than just like to make a big deal.
Right, and have to answer all the questions that come after.
Yeah, there's like when it doesn't affect anybody else if I sit there or stand either way.
But do you think he deserves the criticism that he's getting for it? Like, I think it's going
Not when you have Big Ben, the rapist, who's still throwing footballs in Pittsburgh and ain't nobody burning his jersey.
Exactly.
Or when you
Jared
have
suing the parents,
Or-
stuff like that.
No,
Stuff like that,
who's
throw that in
who's
there.
the football player from Dallas last year? He was I think a defensive lineman, and he had abused his girlfriend, and he
or the one from here.
Well, yeah, Ray Rice, but this was the other guy. He was like he went to trial for it too. But it was like you guys are mad at this guy. Like I feel like, especially for the players who talked against them and saying you making more things out of this than the guys that do beat their wives or their girlfriends or don't take care of their kids or are abusive to their kids. But because he took a stand on this, now you don't want to say something. Why aren't you saying something all those other times?
So I'm gonna go total left field, and I'm gonna bring up Nathan. What's his name?
Nate Parker.
Nate Parker. Are you gonna support his movie?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Well, I already know about the story about Nat Turner, and there are plenty of authors and writers who have written excellent books on Nat Turner. If you really want to go learn about him, you can do a Google search. You can contact African American History Department of any college or HBCU to find out information about this.
So, but why aren't you going?
I was initially excited to see it, because of just how the looks of it, and I've heard about the allegations before, before this.
So it's not a new thing.
It's not a new thing. No,
it's like
it
20
wasn't.
years old.
But I didn't hear. I never got a example of that transcript of the phone conversation that he did have with the young woman who attempted suicide during that time twice, and finally committed suicide. I think 4 or 5 years ago. So I just can't at this point I can't separate the two people. Him being uncompassionate about what happened to her during that time and, you know, her subsequent suicide and with who he is now.
So what would he have to do to move on from this in the public eye?
For me.
For public eye.
Honestly, I say like this.
He needs to accept his responsibility. He continues to make it sound like it was her fault.
Yeah.
He continues to absolve himself of any to pretend like his decision-making process wasn't flawed.
But
well, he's come out now recently.
Said that. He initially
not initially. He didn't say that.
I'm saying
currently
back
he
then,
did do something. I think either through Essence or Ebony. He just had a interview where he did quasi say something, and you know, but it still was kind of half-hearted. Right. And I don't think there's anything he can do. I think most people is either going to see the movie when it comes out, or you're not. I'm like, I will see it if it come on cable and I'm there and it's on. I'll watch it.
But have you ever made a bad decision and then you were faced with it publicly
over and over?
So how do you, like, in your mind, you may be like sorry for what you did, but how do you put into words to a country, a world, that I'm sorry? What do you have to do? Do they need to see tears? Do they need to see?
I don't think there's anything you can really do.
You need to write what is it? The profits that you make from this movie over to her estate. Like, what would he have to do to show? Because public opinion weighs more than her forgiveness to him in the scheme of his life. So he will resort to being what? Now he's going to be the janitor for the next movie.
I certainly don't. That's going to happen, because you look at it's plenty of men who have had either rape allegations or basically went to trial for these things, and their careers have never really been affected. It's like I think
black men who have gone through that and have been unscathed.
Bill Cosby. Well, that's
I don't think his life is unscathed.
I think his life is unscathed. If you had a 40-50 year career and made millions upon millions of dollars, you pretty much got scot-free until you're an old man. I'm like, at this point, it's nothing you really can do other than convict him and put him in jail.
So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
I said he's dead. Oh,
6 years after he passed away.
It states she reportedly had heard rumors, but nothing substantial. But then you put the rumors to
while
death.
They were still married.
You sentenced the rumors to death.
While they still were married, she heard rumors.
Right. Probably all her life she's heard rumors. Like, you're dating, you know you're dating your dad, right? Y'all look just alike. I'm like, girl, somebody told me you dating your father. You know, that's what kind of thing. You know he gay, right, Percy?
Please, why are you laughing at him? Don't laugh at him. Please don't.
Okay, let me continue with the story.
Oh,
man. Even today, it's still funny. Oh my gosh, if you haven't heard this show, it's Talk Lately, and it's only on BeExposedRadio.com every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and on YouTube. Just go to Be Exposed Radio.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talk dirty to me. I love it. It's awesome. It's all mine. It's me joy every day.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Both sides of it. It's easy for
Well,
us to
I say with
attack
the Chris
the
Brown
person who's
situation
making the-
is different because you don't know who to believe, Chris Brown or the LAPD, because both of them have
Well, it's
track
clear
records
now.
of not being truthful.
Well, it's
So-
well, it's clear now. Like this was the one time where he was telling the truth.
Oh, okay, the one time,
right?
But it's like when the boy cried wolf. After a while, you be like, okay, you just kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Well, that's the first. When I first heard about the story, before I did any investigation on it, I said to myself, he needs a year off and to change all his friends, not just a couple, all of them.
Yeah, get rid of Ray J.
But this to keep,
because I heard he was there.
Exactly. That's
Ray J was there.
Right. So you need to change your circle of friends because you keep finding yourself in the same predicament
Over and over
And ain't
again.
nobody
over
looking out
again.
for you.
I'm sorry, I left this here last night, so I was like, before that. So this is the last segment of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. So we're gonna continue partying on for the rest of the month and in celebration of our second anniversary. So every Friday and on Fridays we're gonna be doing giveaways. And the first giveaway this weekend, and it's still open. We still have 2 tickets available to the Real Nigga Show. So if you want to go, it's a good show though.
It is.
Don't let the name fool you.
That cracked me up. I don't want to go. Can I get the tickets?
We got some tickets to the
in.
Real Nigga Show. Right,
Oh,
you got
what's
to
the
call
number?
in. 410-702-5657. Call in.
You think I'll
give us our happy birthday shout out, and you will get those tickets. And then next week we have another show coming up. So today, shout out to Dee Dee from Delish by Dee Dee. You missed some treats last night.
Oh,
they brought
did
some
I?
vegan treats.
Oh,
and,
man.
banana bread, banana walnut bread, and a sweet potato loaf. Yeah, it's actually.
Let me know if she make a sweet potato cheesecake.
I don't think she's getting into that yet, but she has a lot of different treats, and I'm not. You're not gonna tell me I'm big vegan because I want a pork chop, and I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm just say what you want to say. You know, if it wasn't edible, we wouldn't have eaten it in the first place. So I'm not eating them every day or even every week. Just once every other blue moon. But nevertheless, she'll be at the Gifted Beat Divas today over at Walbrook, not Walbrook Junction. What's the one near you? The shopping center. The shopping center by B&O. Yeah.
By B&O? Oh,
Yeah.
Highlands Market.
No, not Hollis Market.
West Side Shopping Center?
West Side Shopping Center. No, it's not that one either.
Well, we need
Where
to
the
eat.
Enterprise used to be?
Where the market is.
Okay,
How about you
this
contact her and
Highlands
get the
Market. You're
information?
talking about where the dollar.
B&O. It's like a shopping center. It's not like a mall or.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
I can't. Why I want to say
where the
Wabash.
housing authority is.
Yeah. I can't think of it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna post it up on the page. So that's where I'll be this evening. But also following today's show will be Charm City Direct. They come on at 5:00 today. So definitely tune into them. See, I broke my promise. I got this blue on it. This is magnifying all of them. Got my black today. But I don't know what these alerts are, and it's scaring me on my phone. So thank you, Anthony, for finally coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Next time, I think Davon will be coming. when
Yeah,
you
I'll
guys
drag
come
him
back.
down. Yeah.
Yes.
This is
Get him
fun.
out of that exercise class for a second. and tell him come on down here and join us.
Well, he's
a Morganite, actually. Anthony, I forgot to say that. He's a Morgan.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. He's managed over there. But I saved that to absolutely last.
Oh, that's so terrible.
But Anthony's a really good friend of mine, and we don't get to see each other much. But he came by to spend the day with me.
Yeah.
He's going to treat me to a cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
I like how I go. We're supposed to go to lunch together now. I got to treat him. He put me to work, and I got to buy him lunch.
Yep.
That's how
That's how I got your job. Obviously, you owe me something. What are you talking about?
But, maybe Anthony will come by because, Alma's going to be MIA for a while. She has her own show.
Yeah, because I came in here thinking I'll be all right, but I'm yawning, and it's just terrible.
What time did you get out of rehearsal?
We ended at like 9. Yeah, 9:30. I got home. People were asleep.
David don't care.
I went to sleep.
David don't care. You got a life. I don't care.
What?
Yeah, you have him on next week?
He's going to be here on Friday. So we'll be talking to David, and
I guess rehearsal next week is canceled then.
No, he has a stage manager. That's David for you. No, he doesn't cancel rehearsal. You still gonna come to rehearsal. You'll find out. You just started. You'll find out. So my last question I asked all my guests is, Mr. Shaw, what would you say to your 17-year-old self? As I tell all my guests, 17 is that age where you are waking up, but you still blinded to some of the answers that you may have. So what would you say to your 17-year-old self?
I would say follow your wanderlust and travel earlier. To put off college for a year and go travel. See the world, see what it really is, and just bartend and make your way through for the world for a year.
Yes.
He was born to be a party.
Yes. I like that plan. I would tell myself to get some sort of skill and just, make it pay for whatever you need that day, make the money for it and pay for it that day.
Hook your way around the world. Okay.
Well, because there's a part of me. Okay, we can have that conversation.
Used to say, but I don't know if profanity is allowed on this.
We'll talk later
on the
about
radio
my thoughts.
station. I don't want to say what she's
about who I was as a teenager.
No, we don't tell past stories because all of us are victims of that. So we're not gonna tell any. My business. So we're not doing that. I just asked for a simple quote. That's so. Thanks again, Anthony. Monny has decided, in and out. He does what he feels like. So I was supposed to have a produce show, so I just stole you guys' things, and we made a good day out of it.
Friday, you'll be all set for produce show.
Everybody keep talking about Friday. The light will be fixed Friday. You'll be here Friday. Like people. It's me. I think it's
you hear a lot of stuff. You
right,
see
exactly.
Oh, he don't hear the light stuff.
He don't.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he was going to check.
Yeah.
He said he's going to check.
Now, once your show ends,
yeah, because I told him too.
I need you to.
Okay, so we're he's basically putting this out. So don't forget for the month of September, call in, listen in. You better listen in. We got some surprise giveaways all month long. So don't forget. Also, September the 17th, Saturday, September the 17th, Big Exposed Radio Show's open house here live, 110 East Lexington Street. Come on out, promote your business, all that jazz, meet the personalities. And it's geared towards the industry, the media industry. So therefore, you'll have a lot of other shows and organizations that you can come by here and promote your marketing and your stuff too. So come on by. Also, what else is going on? When does it open up?
The show opens on the 14th.
The 14th of September, October. Arena Players, get your tickets. We're gonna try to do a artist exchange night. So we're gonna pack it in there.
Ooh, I like it.
And make Alma crazy. Like, but we'll be right back next Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Be Exposed Radio Station.
Yeah, yo.
It's just so weird.